Pairing live stream. And hopefully it'll just be like it is right now. Yep. Ooh, we flip sides, but that's all right.
Looks the same to me.
There's the share button, so I'm gonna go ahead and share this over to Facebook and Twitter. Share page manage. PT Hunts. And I'll share it on Twitter. It's tweeted. So let's see. I'm not going to share it to Twitch right now. I don't want to do that. All right. So if you, I did just notice that if you're watching the YouTube when it looks like a little bit behind. So yeah, it's a little bit behind, I guess, just a few second delay or whatever. So, so we're live on YouTube now, and now we can start the show actually whenever you want. We have 0 viewers as of right now. So,
well, that's awesome.
I don't know if we're even gonna like bring it in or anything now. So you don't hear Alice laughing when I do that?
Nope. People can watch us right now, though. We should.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're watching. They're probably wondering what's happening. And let's see. Can you see the screen that I'm seeing as far as the YouTube one, where it has the comments to the right?
No.
I wonder how yeah, this is showing like if people start asking questions, I'll be able to add, you know, like answer them or whatever.
Right.
Participants. All right, I guess I got to work on that, figure out how to add you onto that so you'll see the same screen as I do as far as manage moderators. Let's see. Add a moderator. Now I don't paste the channel URL of a user to add as a moderator. Oh, do you have a YouTube account?
No, I do not.
All right, so I need to figure out a way to add you on as an admin for the YouTube, and that way you can see these comments as they come up, which I don't know. It says 2 people are watching. That's probably us, isn't it? Are you watching on YouTube?
I am.
Yeah, it's probably us. All right.
So should we start?
Yeah, let's start the show like a regular show now.
All right.
And, yeah, man.
Sounds good, my friend.
All right. Whenever you're ready.
I guess we'll call it in like,
yeah.
All right.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Well, I was waiting on you. All right. Well, welcome to TerrorCrave, everyone. We are your hosts for the evening, as always. My name is Lee, and I'm here with the best co-host a man could ask for, Jason. What's up, Jason? How are you, sir? Oh, no.
I thought you were
you first. I talked to Alice about this. She understands that you get first introduction, then we move over there.
As long as she's good with it, I'm good with it too, man. Yes, I'm doing good, Lee. How are you doing, man?
I'm great, man. I'm great. It's been a bit. We haven't talked for a bit. There's been a lot of cool stuff happening, man. You know, a lot of good stuff out there in pop culture world, definitely in the horror world. American Horror Stories popped off. That's been a great show.
Good.
That's been great. Masters of the Universe. I mean, switching gears
Oh,
totally. That came
yeah.
out, for us kids who grew up in the 80s. I mean, that was an awesome cartoon, and this is a straight continuation done by Kevin Smith. So that's pretty awesome. There's been a lot of great stuff, man. What else is and of course, we did not discuss the final part of the trilogy,
Oh yeah,
Fear
Fear Street.
Street.
That's right.
Yep,
That's right.
1666.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think wait, I told Alice that I would well, she hasn't come up with a name yet, but I wanted to show her new pet to everybody. And it's I don't know what we're gonna name it yet, but
Oh,
she seemed to like it. She told me she was lonely here in the office when I'm not here. So I
I
got
see.
her nice little pet.
I mean, it
So
goes very well with her. I can understand why.
yeah,
You know
exactly.
what I mean? She would
Exactly.
enjoy it. I mean, I think that's a perfect pet. Good job picking
Yeah.
that out. How
Yeah.
did you choose between that and the two-headed chicken? I'm just curious.
Well, this one was cheaper.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
Makes
I
sense.
mean more expensive.
Well,
Spare no expense. Yeah.
well, I've often heard that the two-headed ducks go for a pretty penny. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So
man. You know it.
I get it. And like you said, she's worth it. Worth every penny also. You hear
Yeah,
me, Alice?
yeah. So let's jump on to Fear Street real quick. And what did you think of the finale or the ending of it?
I thought just like I called it. I don't know for everybody who watched the show previously, I it was definitely more reminiscent of the horror film that came out a few years ago, The Witch.
Mhm.
I had spoken about how the previous two were slightly more, which I'm totally fine with, but had a lot more humor, definitely in part
Yeah,
one. You know what I mean? And then that carried over a bit into part two. Humor was all but gone in part three until they switched back to 1994. But I thought it was it was a great. I thought it was a really good story. I thought it was a really well done
yeah,
wrap up to the trilogy. I did call it. I knew that Sarah was not. I knew she was framed. I knew that she was not. Sarah was the witch. So that was interesting twist, though. I didn't expect it to be the cops'
no,
family
I didn't either. Yeah,
either. You know what I mean? So that totally took me by surprise. But
yeah.
all in all, man, I thought it was a great wrap up to the story. What did you think?
It, I enjoyed it. Like we said before, both of us are R.L. Stein fans, fans of the old Goosebumps show, and I thought it was written well. I think they did a good job with it. Um, it was a good ending, a little bit of a surprise there at the end. So I enjoyed it, man. It was good. It was good. I give them if I had to rate it out of 5, I'd give it like a 3.75 or something like that. I
Really?
enjoyed it.
Okay.
Nostalgia, man.
Yeah, no, definitely the nostalgia factor was awesome. I love the soundtrack that they had from 1666 of those old songs from
Yeah.
back then.
Yeah.
I mean, they had some,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Much like the soundtrack from 94 and 78, the
Hmm.
1666, those classics. I mean, they never die.
Yeah. And it was cool the way that they had, the actors from the first two
Yeah,
in this one, playing as a different role. That was pretty neat. That's kind of um almost a nod towards like the American Horror Story shows or the seasons where they have the same actors for the most part coming back for the main characters.
yeah, no, having that same stable of actors, that's true. No, again, all in all, I thought it was great. I was a little bit more horrific in nature, more serious in tone until they switched back to 94. And
Yeah.
and I think we discussed this before. Did you like the way it was kind of released and the kind of the buildup of it, of the trilogy, like the weekly thing? I thought that was pretty tight. I know originally it was supposed to have been monthly because this was originally slated to come out in theaters. Um,
Yeah.
you know,
No, I'm glad that they did a weekly thing. Man, when there's a new series that comes out of whatever show, I binge watch it, man. I can't help it. I don't know what it is, man, but I hate when somebody says, "Hey, did you watch this season, man? This, or this new show? It's the first season." And I'm like, now I know what I'm going to be doing all day Saturday morning through night. I
right?
watched the whole thing. I just started on. I haven't watched Breaking Bad, and I just started on that. And I'm
Whoa,
like
did you
one and
really?
a half. Yeah, I got 1.5 seasons in. And I was like, man, why didn't I watch this before?
You
It's a
know,
good
well,
show.
It's a fantastic show. I mean, that was one of the first shows I ever binged. Actually, was Breaking Bad. I, it was I couldn't stop watching it. I mean, that was one of the shows where I actually would be out in the garage watching it on my phone if I was doing stuff out there or just wherever room I was in. Breaking Bad was on. I'm so glad you're watching it, man. That's to
Yeah,
me might be the best show. And I'm talking about, I'm a genre guy. I love all that kind of stuff too. Breaking Bad, I think might be the best show I've ever watched. I mean, I'm putting
really.
it out there. Yeah, in my opinion, it was incredible. It was
Well,
incredible.
I'll tell you the honest reason why I started watching that show is I knew that it was, I always heard this stuff about that and The Walking Dead, and I was wondering what it was, and you told me that a lot of the sets that they used are the same, right?
Not of the sets, but it has been uh because they're filmed both by AMC, there's been lots of references to like a same product might
I
be
got you.
or a
I got
cigarette
you.
pack. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
I'm not saying that's why it's on because it's on AMC. That's why they did it. I think that's just a common like a little friendly thing between the creators of the shows. But
Yeah.
there'll be a cigarette pack that you see in Breaking Bad or a cigarette brand, not a cigarette pack, but a cigarette brand or a brand of some sort that you've seen, prominently in Breaking Bad
Okay.
is shown in uh The Walking Dead, and again, this
Maybe the
made up
the
brand that's out there.
the big can of pudding that Carl was eating was somewhere there.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
but no, that's so good. I'm actually been told by many people also, which I'm about to do, is jump onto Better Call Saul. Some have even said that Better Call Saul is even better than
Really? So that's
Bad.
the spinoff, right? He was the
It's
attorney or
Yep, he's the
something.
attorney. It's an actual prequel. See, I don't want to ruin a lot of stuff for you
Oh,
since you haven't seen Breaking Bad yet. You're just getting
okay.
into it, which I'm so happy you are. Uh, it's a prequel to Breaking Bad, and telling the story, which I don't think Saul Goodman has been introduced yet
Mm-mm. No,
in
no.
Breaking Bad. He's going to be Walt Jesse's lawyer from time to time. So his story that we get to know his character, which Bob Odenkirk, you know, um,
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw recently. Speaking of all of this, he just was it last night or the night before, uh, collapsed on the set of Better Call Saul. It's been in the hospital.
Oh no, no, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So, hope shout out to his family. Hope he's going to do well. But I think he was in the hospital and he was unconscious for a while. He's still there. But anyway, that being said, I'm about to jump on Better Call Saul. So maybe you'll be watching Breaking Bad at the same time I'm watching Better Call Saul, man. But I can't wait for you to get into that show. He's just now, if I remember correctly, just now been introduced as Heis or created the persona of Heisenberg, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. He's done that, and yeah, it's been a couple of shows. That's funny too, by the way. But that's who he chose, And so,
Yeah.
but I feel bad for the guy, and it's kind of like
Walter White, man.
he's just in too deep, like already he's just like started getting into like dealing or whatever, and now it's like, dang on, man, he's in too deep already just to like step out,
Just keep
you
watching,
know.
bro. Just
Yeah,
keep
it's
watching.
bad,
Man, the
but
stress factor on that show, there have been times where I just can't, it ends and you're just like, oh my God. I can't imagine watching that show. Uh, I didn't want, live like a lot of everybody else. I came into the show at the very last part of the season, the very last season on television. And what I did is I binged it all throughout a couple of weeks. And then within a few weeks, that weekend, they were having a marathon of the last season of it and then showing the finale that night. So I recorded all of the marathon of the last season and then
right.
binged that throughout the week so I could catch up and watch the finale with everybody else that night. It was just incredible, man. Such a great show.
It would kill me to watch that weekly now,
Yeah.
the way it's so good, it's written so well, man. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm trying to you know not stay up for the next 3 nights,
You're
so we'll
you're
see.
in, you're going to be into it, my friend. You're going to be into it. So dude, I'm glad you're watching that. Let's keep on with the shows here. We mentioned American Horror Story. That has American Horror Stories, I should say, because
Hmm.
that's its own little spin-off of its own from American Horror Story. And I was, that just came out a couple weeks ago. They both two episodes debuted on Hulu. What did you think?
I thought, the first, do you call it the first episode or part one of the first episode? Because it was two different, you know what I'm saying? They say
Yeah,
it's what, seven different stories or something, but is the first one two parts or was that two different stories? Or I was kind of confused on that.
I think that was. I was shocked too. That was two episodes like that. Not shocked, I guess, but surprised. Which I guess
Yeah.
is the same thing.
Because they're
But
not supposed to be related. You know what I
yeah,
mean? It's supposed to
yeah,
be a anthology or whatever. But
yeah, exactly. So no, it when it I guess it's probably that to me that was probably just a 2 hour premiere. You know what I mean?
okay.
And from
All
there
right.
they'll go on. But yeah, what did
Well,
you?
that makes me more happy because I can tell you I really enjoyed the first one that night. And when the second one came on, like right afterwards, it was okay. But dude, Paris Jackson cannot act, man. And she did I didn't think she did. I know she's popular and all, but she can't act, man. And that really just bugged me the whole
So she
time.
she was in part one too. You didn't like her. She thought she did okay in part one.
No, I don't think she did as that well in that, but she didn't come in towards like the end of it though, or she wasn't as big a part or whatever.
So maybe you're thinking of. Are you talking about the girlfriend of the girl?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was that wasn't Paris Jackson. Paris
That's
Jack
not.
no, Paris Jackson was the mean girl who set her up
Oh,
and
all
got
right. Well,
her.
never mind.
No, but no,
Who-
that is a famous daughter of someone that you're referring to. The character that the actress you're referring to is Cindy Crawford's daughter.
Really?
Yeah. So
She's
that
so
is
tall
the girl
and
who was in the
skinny, man.
bathtub, and then
Yeah,
that girl, right, who was stayed in the house, the girl's
yeah,
girlfriend, the
yep.
ghost. Yeah, that's Cindy
Leather
Crawford's daughter.
jacket or whatever.
Yep,
Really?
yep. Paris Jackson though was in the show, and she was the girl who set the girl up and was filming her, the head mean girl.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
All right,
That's Paris Jackson.
all right. Well, I've got my famous people's daughters mixed up, but I can tell. All right, then Cindy Crawford,
Oh, that
Cindy
you cannot
Lauper,
act. No,
Crawford.
Cindy Crawford. Yeah,
All right. Oh well, I can kind of see that now.
right. Right. She kind of looks just like her mom.
Yeah. Well, now that you mention it,
Yeah,
but no, I didn't think she could act, man, and it,
I
it
didn't think she
was
was good
messed
either.
up for me, man. I
Yeah.
hate that.
No, I agree with you 100%. I didn't think she did a good job. Or I mean, she wasn't very convincing to me. It seemed like she was just reading her lines. But no, I totally get what you're saying about her.
Yeah. I mean, the story was decent enough. I like the story, and it's I no, I'm fine with it. I think it did fine. If I was rating it, I would probably like out if we were doing out of five, I'd only give it like maybe a 2.5.
Yeah, I would have to go agree with you on that. Um, I thought it was. I did like. Again, I was kind of surprised that since this is supposed to be all different things. You know what I mean? They went back to Murder House, which they've gone back to quite a few different times. Again, I don't care,
Yeah,
but just for this supposed to be what I was expecting this anthology to be with separate stories. That with the first one being like this, it leads me to believe that this might be indeed an anthology, but telling different stories that revolve around other main settings of
yeah,
other. You know what I mean? Like maybe there'll be another story told within this realm of Roanoke, or you know what I mean, a story told about the cult back in '84. Or I don't
well,
know. You know what I
Asylum,
mean?
that's my favorite.
See, yeah.
So did you watch the one last week?
No, I have not seen that one yet. I'm behind. Does that have something to do with Asylum?
Um,
It does. It references it, doesn't it? So that's where they're going. That's where
yeah,
they're going with the show.
I don't want to say too much about it, but I can tell you that it's way better than the first week. It's way better. To me, it was anyway.
That must mean that it's gruesome.
it, it's a
Horrible.
lot better. Yeah, you'll like that one. I'm not going to say much about that one because I want you to see it first.
Okay. All
And
right. Well,
they've
I
got
know.
another one that actually comes on tonight. I'll probably watch that too. But they're getting better. Usually though, when you start a series, especially something that for me anyway, the anticipation was high waiting for this,
Yeah.
and I it was okay when it like I said, the first part of that first story, it was good, but then like the second one, it was just like, it's all right, but it wasn't. I don't know. To me, I would think that they want to start off strong, and
Right.
that to me one they should have put the second one first, in my opinion.
Right. I did like the fact that they had a little kind of shout out to when the therapist who got murdered there at the house, and she was there
Yeah,
talking to them, and she was like, "There's another therapist here in this house. We're fighting over office hours." Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah. I
was a
did like
direct
that.
reference to the father from part
Yep.
one. You know what I mean? Because he was a psychiatrist or a therapist as well. But all those ghosts in the house. Oh, I did like the fact that Infantata kind of came back from season one. The
What? Who
infantata,
was that?
the infantata,
Oh,
the baby-like creature or whatever.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
That emerged in the basement, so that was kind of cool to see that the infantata again. I mean, as cool as it can be to see an
That's like the
infantata.
creepiest basement ever, man.
It
Like
is.
of,
It
of
is.
any movie that I've ever seen, that would be the one basement I wouldn't want to go down in.
Exactly, but no, I mean, it was okay. I think we're on the same page to say it was okay. What endeared it to me was if they are going to have the little shout outs, and plus, I mean, they also had the whistling, the little. I can't whistle very well, but you know what I'm talking about. That was kind of
Yeah.
Tate's. I think that was Tate's kind of theme, or whatever from season one too. Uh,
Was
you know,
Tate still in the house? They
yeah,
didn't like it. Okay, all right.
no,
Because I
Tate
know
was in
that
the
if
house.
if
The
you, if
daughter's in
you
the
don't get
house.
back before the time or whatever on Halloween, you don't make it back. You know what I mean?
Oh, why wouldn't I don't remember Tate not making it back.
I, I don't know. I just thought there was something about that, like he got lured out or something. Because I don't know. Maybe I'm off on that one, but
Oh, no, but it's a little those little shout outs, but as a whole, the story was like a little you know what I mean? So 2.5 stars, yeah. So
yeah,
that's it for that.
you'll like the second one better.
All right,
I
cool. I
did.
can't wait to check it out, man.
Yeah, and now I like the one that's supposed to come on. Well, it came out today. I'm really excited to see that one to see if it's now they're getting better.
Yeah.
But I do. I'm looking forward to the new season of American Horror Story. And what are they calling that one? Double feature or something like
Yeah.
double feature. And but they're not telling. Like when Roanoke came out, they didn't really tell anything up leading up to that until right before. And
Right.
this time they're keeping it really close to the chest
Hmm.
on what it's about. And so I like the preview that I saw, I couldn't tell if it's about aliens or if it's about some kind of vampires or a mixture of the two, or you know, I'm really intrigued.
Well, I do know that one part of the story somehow double feature, so it's broken into two parts. One story takes place by the water.
Hmm.
One story takes place in like in land or on land or something like that. That's the two how I've heard it's broken up. Again, they're playing everything close to the vest, not sharing a lot. But these are the little things that that's a tale by the water and a tale inland. So I don't know. It'll be very interesting. It's got an interesting cast. A lot of the same people are back. We got Macaulay Culkin in it this time as well.
Yeah, that
I'm
sounds
sure
cool.
he's going to play a pretty wild character.
Yeah,
So yeah, no, it should be good, and that starts here in the next few weeks, actually.
yeah, yeah. I'm really looking forward to that one. I think it's going to be good. I hope
Yeah,
so
man.
anyway. And I don't think they've really had a season that was um the whole season was about aliens. They haven't done that, right? I
Not
think
the
they,
whole season about aliens.
yeah,
Aliens was involved with Asylum.
yeah, yeah. So I
Um,
don't with the baby or whatever it was, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
they kept making appearances, and because apparently the aliens are why that boy. I think he said he was abducted by aliens in the very beginning.
yeah.
The one who got sent to the asylum, who was framed for the murders that he didn't do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
no, all it's going to be interesting, man. It always is. It always is. They've been running it now almost 10 years.
yeah, yeah. This is the 10th season, right?
Yeah, I think maybe so.
Hmm.
Maybe last year was supposed to be 10th season because
Yeah.
of the pandemic pushed it back.
Yeah. So for you, the American Horror Stories is getting better. Like the second one, I think was better.
Hmm.
So they're picking up.
All right, well, cool. I can't wait to check it out. I just hope that the second one, I had to push through season 2 and season 3. No, I like season 3. Season 2 and season 4 really almost turned me off of the show. You know what I mean? So I'll have to.
Oh, I thought they were great. They were great.
It's and that's probably why this one's more like that. It's tough for me to watch. I know it is.
Yeah, yeah. So, well, let's talk about something I was excited about. I'm sure you were too. Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, yeah, dude. I thought it was great. I really enjoyed it. I know a lot of people out there uh, are unhappy with the direction that it took, but I thought it was really good. Excuse me. I like that it was the first episode. Really felt like it could have been an episode from the old days, you
Yeah.
know. And then I like the cast that they've got. Sarah Michelle Gellar. Guys, Buffy's one of my favorite shows ever. So to see
Here we go again.
to see her leading the show,
Yeah.
basically, as Tila. And then we got Mark Hamill as Skeletor, which is he does a
Great
fan.
job.
I do hear his Joker coming out every now and then as
I did
Skeletor.
too, and that's how I knew who it was because I didn't know they were having these people as the voices. I didn't know
Oh
that.
yeah, oh man, all-star cast, yeah.
Yeah.
Lena Headey from Game of Thrones,
Yep.
as Evil Lynn. She's also in that new movie Gunpowder Milkshake, which is supposed to be pretty good, but I haven't checked it
Oh
out
yeah, I
yet.
haven't
It's
watched
came out
that
on
yet.
Netflix. But yeah, but no, Lena Headey's Game of Thrones. She played Cersei Lannister. But no, great cast, great voice cast. But I enjoyed the show. The first 5 episodes are
Yeah.
good. There's actual real stakes in the show as opposed to before. Back in the '80s. Excuse me. As much as we loved it, it was very. It was kiddie. We were kids. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
It was a story it was a lesson to learn in each one,
there
each of
was
the shows.
Orko came and told us a lesson there at the very end.
Yeah. Hey, at first, when they started showing the characters and they showed Adam, at first I was like, oh man, he doesn't look the same. But I actually liked it better that he was a smaller guy. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
well, because
Which he should be.
I always did think that was crazy because there was absolute, at least with Superman, they have the glasses and he combs his hair differently. With as Clark Kent,
Yeah.
with He-Man, Prince Adam was
He
the
was already buff,
exact
man.
he the same haircut. The only
Yeah.
difference was a change of clothes, and He-Man had a tan,
Yeah.
and that was that was the
I
only
think they did,
difference
but
between those two. Nothing
well,
was different.
remember when they came out with the action figures and stuff too? Like um Beast Man was the same action figure as Moss Man, except Moss Man was green and Beast Man was orange.
Yeah.
The same exact, you know what I mean?
Right.
And a lot of them were like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
So
but I love, I actually I've liked what's happening. Like I said, there's real stakes. There's characters that have way more development than they did back in the day. Man at Arms is getting way more
yeah,
character development, and that is due to the fact that yes, our hero has been kind of MIA for these episodes. That is
people
true.
were upset about that.
People were very very upset, man, and saying this is a woke show and all that stuff. But Kevin Smith's come out and said that there's no way. He's like, He-Man will be. This is just the first season too. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And He-Man, there's no way that they're going to have a show. And I agree with this. That Mattel's going to say, hey, kill off our most popular character.
well,
You know what I mean? And not have him in the show. We'll have He-Man back.
the old cartoon that we watched, was it called Masters of the Universe or was it called He-Man and the Masters of the Universe?
It was He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
Well, see, now I think people need to take that into consideration because this is called Masters of the Universe. So they're not just talking about He-Man. He was the main character in the other one, but I can see it like when he was going, what, like in the first episode? And then, you know what I mean? And then like you don't see him again unless it's a flashback or something. But I'm fine with it, man. Tila broke bad.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. She
Cut her
did.
hair. Not taking it
Yeah.
no more, man.
She's not taking. So what did you think though? I mean, I was talking a lot there. What did you think?
I at first, like when He-Man disappeared and didn't show back up in the second one, and they made it more about Teela, I was getting upset, man, because I had that mindset of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
Right.
But then I realized, I said, oh, well, it's Masters of the Universe, so they're gonna just give you more about this person and this person, and the whole time, like with Man at Arms and shoot, the Sorceress and all that, and they're like, I need to tell you something, Tila. I need to tell you something. And they're just like, all this, and I need you to know. And all of a sudden, it's like something happens and they can't tell. I was
I
like,
know.
just tell her. Just tell her, man.
I
Like,
know.
come on.
I did like that. There was so many times. You're right. That happened so many, but it was kind of funny. It was like, we have to tell you, and it would get to be like this most dramatic moment, and then somebody would come bubble
Yeah,
into the room or
I
something.
know, man. It's just like, just tell her,
Well, you
man.
know she's the sorceress's daughter. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
what,
that's what, yeah, I'm just,
because
that's
the
what I was,
sorcerer came down there one more time. It was like, I had to see you one more time, Tila. She was like, why me? She's
I
like,
don't know if they're like building it up for people like my son that never watched the old He-Man and the Master of the Universe. So maybe they're like building it up for him where he's going like, I wonder what they're trying to tell her. And but
right,
all of us old heads are over here like, what? Just tell her, man. I mean, she's
right.
already devastated because she didn't know Adam was He-Man. It's like,
I,
why aren't they ever, the same thing with Clark Kent and Superman. It's like they're never around at the same time. Lois Lane caught on to it.
yeah, they got married after a while, right? You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, for a little while. Yeah,
no, no. But but I did, so I could see why people were upset about it too. But this is only part one. Part two of the next 5 episodes drops probably before the end of the year, if not like early
I was
January.
wondering that.
You know, and when they drop, we'll get the whole story. But it did think, yes, it did. It was funny right at the very end because you think He-Man's coming back. By the power of Grayskull,
Yeah,
I have the, and then it was just like, damn, right when you think he's
yeah,
going back at the end, he's getting stabbed again. And there's no way they're going to kill off Prince Adam after that. I mean, he just came
no,
back from heaven, basically. And
yeah.
the fans would be in the for if he came back for nothing.
Jon
You know what I
Snow.
mean?
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
They're going to show him laying there for a couple episodes, then he's going to just open his eyes.
Right.
If
Yeah.
if I ever find a sword somewhere, I hope it's and it's a magical sword that's going to change me into, this superhero. I hope I don't have to do like the by the power of Grayskull or thunder. I hope I can just go bam,
Right.
something because they always get like killed right in the middle of it's like, come on, bam, and I'm changed.
I know. Yeah, you're right. It would be quicker, much quicker thing in order for that to happen.
Yeah,
Gives the bad guys too much time, man. Too many bad things can go wrong.
it
You
went
know.
quick. They were only what like a 30-minute shows, and it was only 7 of them. So it went. I binged those like really fast.
Yeah. It was like five. It was like five episodes.
Only 5. Okay.
Yeah, it was like there was 22 to 25 minutes long. But no, yeah, I like it. Kevin Smith. I like that he's people who don't know, he's actually had great runs with both DC and Marvel, and reinvented these. Like for DC, he had a great comic run of Green Arrow, and made him really relevant. You know what I mean? Much, kind of. Hey, it's really well revered storyline that
Mm-hmm.
Kevin did for those 12 issues or 24 issues, whatever he did. And the same with Marvel and Daredevil. Both storylines where he took these characters and created something really fantastic with both of them. So he's been, he's known. He's known for his crazy, the movies, which I also love. Silent J, Silent Bob and Jay,
Yeah.
Jay and Silent Bob. But then he's really put his hand in these other
Yeah.
fantastical stories, these great characters I love too.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was a good job, and I'm glad to hear that they're coming out soon with the next season, or I guess you would call it the next series of episodes.
Yeah,
Because
it
I
will be
wanted
soon.
more like right away. I was like, wait. I mean, it was a good cliffhanger. It was like, wait a minute, just
Yep.
killed him, man.
Yeah, I know.
But
No,
yeah, I no complaints, and now we got to know a whole nother line of toys. I'm sure that is going to come out. So this will be the 3rd time they've made them, right? Well, probably the 4th because they redid some like in the like 90s or early 2000s, which didn't look anything like them. Then they came out with another one that looked like the old ones.
Right. Yeah. I'm sure there's a line out now, and maybe it's McFarlane Toys maybe doing it. I don't know, but
Oh, that would be
that
nice.
might be incorrect. That's probably incorrect because I know he's got his hands full right now with DC stuff, but maybe I'm wrong about that. But I do know there's definitely some newer ones out there.
Right.
But if you haven't seen, have you? Forgive me if we've talked about this. Have you ever watched The Toys That Made Us? Any of those documentaries on Netflix?
I think I watched a little bit of one time, but or no, maybe it was just a TV show that was similar to that. No, I guess not.
There is a great series on Netflix called The Toys That Made Us. And what they do is they take they put a whole, it's mini documentary, an hour or so into like Masters of the Universe or G.I. Joe
Yeah.
or, Star Wars and take, from when we were growing up and just tells that the tale of the marketing, how they were created, the huge uproar about them, and just all of that. But anyway, my point is, it's a great series. Check it out. But there was a really great one about He-Man and the Masters of the Universe that they did as well, which is, you brought up the toys, and I just had to say, if you haven't watched it, man, check it out. It's
Did
really
you
good.
did
Talks
you
about the
collect
chronology.
the He-Man toys when you
Oh
were
yeah,
young?
man. Yeah, I had Castle Grayskull. I had a lot of the
Yeah.
vehicles. I
Yeah.
had a plethora of the figures. I never had Snake Mountain. I
No,
never
I
had
didn't
Snake.
have that either. I don't.
Yeah,
That was hard to find, man. But
yeah.
I had the Castle Grayskull, and I had what was it? It was he had like a ship, like the Falcon ship or whatever that you hold in your hand or something that
Yeah, yeah.
wobbled.
I had a couple of different vehicles and stuff that are
Yeah,
battering around.
and then because Tila had like the mine, her head broke off, but luckily it could stay in place with the thing that went up over top of her head, like
I feel like a snake
whatever it
thing
was.
that went over her head.
Yeah, it
If I
was
remember
something weird,
correctly. She never
and she
wore
had
that
a
for the
staff.
yeah, she never wore that for the cartoon at all. But
Yeah.
she definitely her figure originally came out with that. You know, think about all of this now. There's one character that they gave a lot of cool. There's two characters actually that stick out to me that they didn't show in this. Can you, from the good guy side, I'm going to see if you can pick out, just because, pick out two good guys that they did not
Oh,
show
Ram
yet.
Man.
There you go. That's one of them.
Ram Man.
Awesome.
He was one of
Yep.
my favorite ones.
Yep. That's
I,
one of them.
oh, and Stratos.
Good job. All right, Jason. You are on
I
point, my friend. That was
Yeah,
awesome.
don't
That
tell
was
anybody
awesome.
that stuff. No, I loved them, man. I had all those action figures, and um, I played with those a long time, man. And I remember I got Castle Grayskull for Christmas one year, and
Yeah.
it was a really big thing for me, and I enjoyed that thing, and I probably still have the remnants of it around somewhere. You know,
Right.
I
That's
hope I
so
still
cool.
have like the draw bit, or I call it the jaw bridge, and
Right.
but yeah, I loved it. And it had like the part where they could stand on it and the floor was just like you pull the lever and they drop down. It had the throne inside of it and all that, and it was cool, man. I enjoyed that. It was
Yeah.
nice.
No, it was a great. Yeah, they had a
I didn't
great
think about Ram. I
characters,
didn't even
great
think about them
figures.
until you said that just now, man.
Yep, those are two missing that I kept waiting to see if we were going to show. They showed a lot of others. Mossman, of course, met his unfortunate end right in the
Yeah,
very beginning of the episode. And I liked how they redid him as more of like a swamp thing type creature. I don't
oh
remember
yeah,
Mossman being, I think he was just more like the camo, at least when they showed him back then, it was more like just camouflage guy or something
yeah.
like that, right? I mean,
Yeah,
maybe I'm
'cause he
wrong, but I
didn't
don't,
look anything like the action figure because, like I said, the action figure was just a green beast man.
yeah, yeah,
That's all it
exactly.
was.
No, yeah, no, and I liked how they've taken Skeletor's henchmen, and we still got to see Lockjaw, Trap Jaw, and
Trapjaw,
Triclops,
Merman.
Merman, and of course,
Yeah, they made
prominent
Cyclops
evil
weird in the show, but it was
one.
fine.
Yeah, he was what servant to technology, or
Yeah, he turned
he
into
was.
like a cult leader, man. I was like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
odd.
yeah. That was
And
pretty wild. That was actually pretty, even though it was pretty gruesome for me to have to watch that transformation when he was giving those people too. I'm not a
yeah.
big fan of mutations. So like,
And what did they did show, I know it wasn't Skunk Man. What was his name? Stinkor or something?
Stinkor, yeah, he
Stinkor.
was voiced by Jay, which is or Jason Mewes, who plays Jay from Jay and Silent Bob.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that
cool.
was
I
a
didn't know that.
voice of Stinkor. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they definitely, like I said, they had a lot of Skeletor's henchmen popping up, in
Yeah.
different roles and to kind of see where they were 5 years later and all of that.
Did you what about G.I. Joe? Did you have a lot of the action figures and stuff from G.I. Joe?
I did. I definitely did. I like G.I. Joe. So speaking of that, we just had Snake Eyes that just came out, which
Yeah.
is another attempt at launching
I
the
don't know if
G.I.
I'm happy
Joe.
with that one, man.
It was another attempt at launching G.I. Joe movies.
Yeah.
They've been trying to launch it. This is its third shot. They had the first one with 2010, I think it was, or 2009, with Channing Tatum and
Yeah.
Marlon Wayans. And then
I
they
liked it, man. It was all right.
I thought it was pretty
I
good.
like both of them, man. I'm not
Yeah.
happy with this one because they showed too much of Snake Eyes' face.
And
And
he's
when we
talking
watched, yeah, and when we watched, he didn't talk, or you never saw him. You might see like the back of his head when he took off the hood,
because he was supposed to be
but
disfigured.
yeah, yeah.
That was supposed to be the
So
deal. And we were never supposed to see what it looked like. And he couldn't talk. So yeah, this is the origin. So I'm like wondering if they ever becomes like because he's not in GI Joe yet in this movie. You know what I mean? GI
okay,
Joe is circling. Scarlet is in it. You know what I mean, and stuff like that. But Snake Eyes is not part of the team yet.
so
And
that's what's going to build up to. I guess at the end, he's going to end
well,
up.
it didn't do so hot. So who knows if this is going to get another shot at it at all?
Uh,
You know what I mean? But yeah, and from what I understand, I haven't seen the film yet. And I do want to, but from what I understand, like he's not in the final Snake Eyes outfit until like the last 5 minutes of the movie or something like that.
oh,
Yeah. So
maybe it's this. The writing's not good for them because man, GI Joe, you would think, especially now, the way they're bringing stuff, the whole Marvel universe, and people
yeah,
like our age even love stuff like that. And then like the Masters of the Universe, all of us, everybody wanted to see that.
yeah,
I guess they're just not getting good writers for them, man.
they're just
I mean,
having a
I
hard
liked them;
time.
they were fine,
They were
but
fine, and I think they could have. I mean, if they had carried on, but what they did for the second one, I think they lost a lot of fans, or maybe who knows? I mean, The Rock is a huge movie star, but they killed off
yeah,
so many. They killed off the GI Joe team basically in
yeah,
in the beginning of part two. You know what I
yeah,
mean? It left only a handful of Joes. You know what I mean? And so we only had like at that point Roadblock, Flint, and Lady J running around, and then of course Snake Eyes, and then Jinx I think was in there too. But
yeah.
yeah,
I liked Jinx; that was cool. She
yeah,
was cool.
but but other than that, it was just a handful of Joes. And I think what I read something the other day that said maybe they're better suited for because this day you could do it a streaming channel show.
Yeah,
With no
that would be good.
expenses, just with throwing it like I mean, they have some expensive show. I mean, what Marvel's doing them. You know what
Oh
I mean?
yeah,
I mean, they could
yeah.
definitely do it and do it justice because there's just so many characters, and everybody has their favorite character.
Who do you think would write good ones or direct a good
Oh, oh man, you know what, man? Give it to Michael Bay. I mean, he fucking. Oh, excuse me. He killed Transform.
one?
You know
Yeah,
what I mean? I know a lot of people didn't like it, and they've never been critical darlings. They've always been pretty low in the tomato meter and Rotten Tomatoes there.
yeah, but
But the crowd usually loves it, except for the last
yeah,
one. Last night, I know was not a fan favorite nor a critical favorite, but they have for most parts been fan favorite films. And I say that to say last night didn't do well because then what they're doing their own little reboot right now with Bumblebee.
yeah. Well, I remember when Transformers came out, I wanted to see it because I collected those. I loved those, and
Yeah,
I I, I think I probably had more of the Megabots or whatever they were. They were a little bit cheaper to buy, but it
GoBots,
broke it. Well, were they?
GoBots,
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
GoBots.
Yeah,
Yep.
but they weren't as
It's
hard to transform, and they didn't break, and they were like half the price. But anyway, I remember when that came out, I wanted to see it. The kids watched it; it was good. And then I think we watched the second one, and it was good. But I think it was the third one. They brought in like the twins or whatever, the little twins that transformed or something, and like they were there was a like cussing, dropping the f
no,
bombs, and
no. You're thinking of it was part two they brought those guys in.
part two.
And
Okay,
and you didn't notice they weren't in part three because there was a lot of they were
okay.
that was actually deemed almost a little bit people were trying to say there was a little bit of racism there because they were just like, oh, and they were talking the way they were, and just almost like it almost got a little Jar Jar Binks type of
Oh, but no, I think like
type of
for my
thing
wife,
because
our kids were the twins were young at that time, probably like 8, 9, something like that. And the first one didn't have language and stuff in it. And
right.
when this one came out, like as soon as like one of them dropped the F bomb, Jen was like, "Oh, my wife, like they're cussing." I was like, "Well, it's PG-13, so they get one F bomb."
Right. Yep.
And
Exactly.
one's coming if the show is PG-13, they're gonna drop the F bomb somewhere just because they get one.
Right. Exactly. No, but give it to Michael Bay. He did go with the Transformers, but like I
Yeah,
said, even though he ran that to the ground, but they are rebooting that with Bumblebee now, and kind of taking them in a little bit more direction. But we'll see. We will see. But no, GI Joe, I
yeah.
think would be definitely better suited for a show where you get multiple episodes and give it the budget it needs. And because, like I said, man, there was, I mean, so many characters. I mean, we could just go on and
Oh
Duke,
yeah, yeah.
Flint, and Roadblock, and Gung Ho, and Breaker, and freaking. I guess I
Always
run
liked
out of
Gung Ho, man. He was
yeah,
one of my favorite ones. And I remember like the elastic
Wild
band
Bill.
broke.
Yep.
Yeah, mine did. The elastic band broke between his like torso and his legs.
Yeah.
So then I remember taking a lighter and like making that, it looked like he had caught on fire. So he blew up, and then they had to come in and
There you
get him.
go. Showing that imagination back then as well, my friend. That was
Yeah,
awesome.
that's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
dude. No, man. So no, lots of all that just took us down memory lane. But if you mentioned the GoBots, I got to go back and mention that Toys That Made Us again, because they have this episode dedicated to the Transformers, and of course, Transformers does talk about the rivalry that was going on between Transformers and GoBots. I mean, to the point to where I think it was Time magazine had the CEO of, let's say it was Hasbro. I can't remember who put out.
Right.
I'll just pick two toy names: Hasbro and Kenner. I'm probably wrong about both of them, but the CEO had of Hasbro was having a transformer in the picture, and the CEO of Kenner was let's say the GoBots. You know what I mean? It was such a it was a huge rivalry that got a right up in Time magazine. But then, of course, right after that Christmas, it was leading up to a Christmas when they were having it. The Transformers didn't basically wipe the floor with
Oh
GoBots. I
yeah.
mean, they
Oh
did.
yeah.
For a hot second, their GoBots was hanging in really hard, though. They were. And they had the cartoon and everything. I mean, it didn't
Yeah.
do as well as the Transformers cartoon, but I remember
No.
Leader
Well,
One was the
no, there's always the one that comes along and tries to copy him. Like oh gosh, you remember there was one Blackstone? You remember that?
Black Star.
Was that it? Black Star, yeah. Yeah.
You're talking about he was kind of like a He-Man type guy.
Yeah, because that came out around the same time, like after He-Man. And because he had like his best friend looked like some kind of crazy Wookiee or something.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Oh, you're
And
thinking
then
of
like
Thunder the Barbarian? Is that who you're talking
Thundar the
about?
Barb. Yes. Yeah. But
Oh,
I thought
okay.
there was another one too, like
No, Black Star.
Black.
There is a Black Star television show or cartoon. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. No,
Because that was
totally.
similar too, right? Oh, Thundar is the one I'm thinking about, though, I'm sure.
Thunder the Barbarian and Ukla the Mock and Princess Ariel.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then like Thundercats came out, and that was real popular. Then you had what was it?
Silverhawks.
Silver Wings? Silver
Silverhawks.
Yeah, yeah. So but those were really cool action figures. You press the button and their arms come
Oh,
up, and they had like the wings.
they were. They just announced they are having a revival of that cartoon. I don't remember if it's Netflix or Prime or Hulu, but somebody's about to kick off Silverhawks again.
Well, I
Uh,
thought they were making a movie about the
Thundercats. They
Thunder.
are.
Yeah.
They're making a movie about Thundercats. It's the same guy who did Godzilla versus King Kong, but it's going to be an
Okay.
animated or CGI type of
Yeah.
movie, which I think will be really well done. Adam Wingard, I believe is his name,
Okay.
who directed Godzilla versus King Kong.
I'm looking forward to that. I really liked Thundercats, man.
Yeah, me too, dude. I did too. It's going to be great. No, I love the going back to our old '80s, stomping grounds and digging up these awesome cartoons. Transformers has been around again for a while, and GI Joe's been trying to rear its head. But now we got He-Man back. We've got
Yeah.
Thundercats, as you just mentioned, Silverhawks coming back. Man, it's good stuff. Good
Yeah,
stuff.
I'll be interested in seeing all of them, man.
Yeah, man, for sure. Well, cool, buddy. I think uh I think we said it all for this evening. I don't know. What do you think? Are we missing anything?
I don't think so. I mean, there's other movies coming up soon, but I think we've talked about them, the Halloween kills and all that.
Yeah, no, that's all good. Oh, we have to talk about how can we miss this? I'm glad you brought up Halloween Kills. Same people who are doing Halloween Kills are doing the continuation of The Exorcist.
Yes,
Um, and they are
yes,
bringing back the mother,
yep.
the actress, was it Anne Bancroft, Ellen Bernstein, maybe? I
Ellen
think it's Ellen
Bernstein,
Bernstein.
yeah, yeah.
Ellen Bernstein played the mother. She's been approached and she's going to be in the movie, so
Well,
that'll be pretty cool.
I
It's
haven't
a
heard
straight
anything about
continuation.
Linda Blair, but I'm
She
sure
just
if they're
announced
doing
today. She announced today that she has not been approached as of yet.
well,
Or
well,
was it
yeah, I would
yesterday?
think not because if she was approached, I'm sure she's just like waiting for something to come to her. You know what I mean? I think that movie was pretty much the only thing that ever did anything for her, and
Yeah,
you
she rode
know,
his coattails for a bit. She had some other films that came out, but yeah, she never did relive the glory days of The Exorcist.
yeah,
It's been said that that's the best child uh, um, production or child job, good child acting job. I'm still not the word I
yeah.
was looking for. Performance. I couldn't even think of that. Geez, child performance in a movie or a horror movie. Ever. I mean, she got rave reviews for that.
But really, what is Exorcist without Linda Blair if they're doing a prequel? Unless she's dead, like they've killed off Reagan when it
Right.
comes back. They shouldn't have somebody else play her.
Now, did you watch the TV show?
Yes,
So I didn't watch the TV show, but I thought it was pretty interesting that Gina Davis's character was playing the
yeah.
adult Reagan.
Oh well, maybe. Yeah, I guess they could. Oh yeah, that was odd too, but she did a good job. It was a good show, man. I
It
liked it.
was, yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't watch it, but
they had.
that was like a surprise, right? Like you watched that for a few episodes before the surprise was revealed that Gina Davis's
Yes.
character was Reagan.
Yep. You don't know that she is. Yep. And I that had a couple of seasons, right? I
I
think
think it lasted
was it
two,
only.
maybe two or three,
Yeah,
maybe two
it was
seasons.
good. Yeah, I mean, it was the same demon that was after her or whatever, but it was kind of just laying dormant. But yeah, it was good. It wasn't bad. It was good.
Okay. But yeah, I
Yeah.
thought that was big news that was just announced because there was talk that there was an Exorcist movie coming out again. Nobody knew if it was a remake or what, but now it's been announced as a trilogy. It's been announced as a trilogy, and it's going to have the Ellen Bernstein character. So it should be pretty scary. Maybe we'll
Yeah, I
have to
think
watch
so.
this movie. I think it's about time I have to watch the movie, man.
I keep forgetting that you haven't watched that movie yet.
I think it
Yeah.
might be time. I don't know where I'm going
Just
to
make
watch it.
sure it's
I
nice
won't be
and
watching it
dark
in my house. I
and
have to watch
all
it in
lights
somebody
off.
else's house.
Yeah. We'll have a viewing party, man, and you can watch it and we'll open up this Dybbuk box and
Ooh, please no,
it'll
please
just be
no.
all demonic.
Yep. Not today, Satan. Not today.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Oh man. Well, Jason, my friend, as always, I've enjoyed every minute of this. Guys, we tried a little something different today. We're filming live. If you guys have any comments, please let us know. Again, we love your feedback. We crave your feedback, no pun
Yes.
intended. But we really want to know what you guys think about the show. Again, any topics you want us to talk about, please let us know. We'll be more than happy to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Anytime. Any questions?
Yep, guys, let us know. All right, man, Jason, again, it's been a pleasure, my friend. I hope you have a great rest of the evening. Guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Check us out on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, like us on Facebook, like our YouTube page. Let us again. Thanks again for watching.